The morning ferry sat quietly at the dock, its white paint glowing soft pink in the early sunrise. A small waves lapped gently against the hull, making a peaceful rhythm that matched the slow breathing of the sea. On the upper deck, a young woman named Emma sat in her wheelchair near the railing, wrapped in a grey cardigan against the cool morning air. She had arrived early, before most of the other passengers. The ferry would take 2 hours to cross to the mainland, and Emma always loved this journey. She came once a month to visit the hospital there for her physical therapy appointments. The water calmed her. The sound of the gulls made her smile. But there was one thing she had never been able to do properly from her wheelchair. She had never been able to see the sky. Not really see it. Not the way others could when they stood at the railing and looked straight up at the endless blue, at the stars that sometimes appeared in the early morning darkness, or at the shooting stars that streaked across the heavens. Her view was always angled, always limited by the height of her chair and the position she had to stay in. Today, she had decided to ask. As more passengers began boarding, Emma watched them carefully. She needed someone tall, someone strong, but more importantly, someone kind. Someone whose eyes would understand rather than question. Someone who wouldn't make her feel small for asking. Then she saw him. A man in a dark suit walked onto the deck, his footsteps confident but not hurried. He had the bearing of someone important, broad shoulders, a clean-shaven face, dark hair styled perfectly. But when he paused at the railing and looked out at the water, his expression softened. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, as if he, too, had come here for peace. Emma's heart beat faster. She wheeled herself a little closer, her hands trembling slightly on the wheels. The man turned and noticed her. For a moment, their eyes met. His were kind, a deep brown that held no judgment, only a gentle curiosity. "Good morning," he said, his voice warm and sincere. "Good morning," Emma replied. She hesitated, feeling suddenly shy. But the ferry's horn sounded, announcing departure, and she knew this might be her only chance. "Sir," she said softly, "can you lift me up to see the sky?" The man looked surprised for just a moment, then his expression melted into something tender. "Of course," he said without hesitation. He walked closer and knelt down beside her wheelchair so their eyes were level. "My name is Marcus. Would it be alright if I lifted you? I want to make sure you're comfortable." Emma felt tears prick at her eyes, but she blinked them away. "Yes, please. I'm Emma just. I want to see the stars. I've heard there are still some visible this morning, and I've never seen them properly." Marcus smiled gently. "Then let's make sure you do." He was careful and respectful, asking her how best to lift her, where she needed support, what would be most comfortable. His hands were steady and strong as he lifted her from the chair. Emma felt a flutter of nervousness, but Marcus held her securely, standing at the railing with her cradled safely in his arms. "Is this all right?" he asked. "Yes," Emma whispered. Then she looked up. The sky opened above her like a cathedral of light and darkness. The sun was just beginning to rise, painting the eastern horizon in shades of gold and coral, but above them, the western sky still held on to the night. There, scattered like diamonds on dark velvet, were the stars. Bright and clear and beautiful. A shooting star suddenly streaked across the sky, leaving a trail of light in its wake. Emma gasped. "Did you see that?" "I did," Marcus said softly. "Make a wish." She closed her eyes for a moment, holding the wish close to her heart. When she opened them again, she realized Marcus was looking at the sky too, his expression peaceful and far away. "Thank you," Emma said quietly. "You don't know what this means to me." "Maybe I do," Marcus said. His voice carried a weight of emotion. "My sister, she was in a wheelchair. She used to ask me to lift her all the time so she could see things from a different view. I was 13, and sometimes I'd complain that I was too tired or too busy." It paused, his throat working. "She passed away when she was 17. That was 12 years ago and I've regretted every single time I said no." Emma felt her heart break and heal at the same time. "I'm so sorry," she whispered. "Her name was Lily," Marcus continued, "and she would have loved you. She had your same courage, asking strangers for help without shame. She taught me that asking for what you need isn't weakness, it's strength. They stood there together as the ferry moved through the water, the engine humming beneath them. The sky slowly brightened, the stars fading one by one as the sun claimed the morning. Emma could feel Marcus's steady heartbeat, could sense the tenderness with which he held her, as if she were something precious. "Can I tell you something?" Emma asked. "Anything. I almost didn't ask you. I was afraid you'd think I was strange, or pitiful, or asking for too much." Marcus looked down at her then, and his eyes were wet. "Emma, you didn't ask for too much. You asked for exactly what you needed. And I'm honored, truly honored, that you chose to ask me." It paused. Lily used to say that the most beautiful thing about people is their courage to be vulnerable, to reach out, to ask. She said that's how we find each other in this world. Emma smiled through her tears. "She sounds like she was wonderful." "She was," Marcus said. "And so are you." As the sun rose higher, casting warm light across the deck, Marcus carefully returned Emma to her wheelchair. He knelt beside her again and took her hand gently. "Thank you for letting me help you," he said. "You gave me something I didn't know I needed." "What's that?" Emma asked. "A chance to say yes," Marcus replied. "A chance to do it right this time." Before the ferry docked, Marcus pulled a business card from his pocket and wrote something on the back. "That's my personal number," he said. "If you ever need someone to help you see the sky again, or anything else, please call me." "I mean it." Emma took the card, reading the front. "Marcus Chun, CEO." She looked up at him in surprise. "Ismail. Even CEOs need reminders of what matters most." He stood and adjusted his suit jacket. "Take care, Emma, and keep asking for what you need. The world needs more people like you, people brave enough to reach out." As Emma wheeled down the ferry ramp later that morning, the sun warm on her face, she looked up at the daytime sky. She couldn't see the stars anymore, but she knew they were there, waiting for darkness to reveal them again. And she knew that somewhere in this city, there was a man who understood. A man who had said yes when it mattered most. The sky, she realized, had always been there. Sometimes you just needed someone to help you see it.